The 30 players who carry their country's PL goal burden. Newcastle presumably aren't signing Chris Wood specifically because he has scored so many of New Zealand's Premier League goals, but still. The following 30 players have scored 3/4 or more of their country's overall Premier League goal tally. And good on them for it. Alexis Sanchez, 63 of Chile's 81 goals, 77%, with no Chilean players currently knocking around the Premier League, and closest challenger Clarence Acuna retiring more than a decade ago. Alexis Sanchez is probably safe. Chris Wood, 50 of New Zealand's 65 goals, 78.1%, that's what £25 million will get you. One of only 6 players to reach double figures for goals in each of the last 4 Premier League seasons. Paulo Wanchope, 50 of Costa Rica's 63 goals, 79.4%, none of those goals were as good as his first. Nobody ever did it quite like Paulo. Stevan Jovetic, 8 of Montenegro's 10 goals, 80%. Manchester City probably felt a little shortchanged by that return, as evidenced by the arrival of Wilfried Bony 18 months later. Stevan Jovetic had the last laugh in 2021, when he became only the second player to ever score in each of Europe's current top 5 leagues. Zoltan Jara, 17 of Hungary's 21 goals, 81%. You don't mess with the Zoltan, which was a lesson many would eventually come to learn throughout the mid-2000s and early 2010s. Jara scored against them all, from Manchester United and Liverpool to Spurs and Chelsea. Some chancers called Juventus too. Oh, on this day, in 2010, 1/2 ZAMORA 1/2 GERA 1/2 GERA 1/2 Dempsey L. Fulham knocked Juventus out of the Europa League. Pic.twitter.com GCFTXD2H3A, BET365, at BET365, March 18, 2017. Rule Fox, 36 of Montserrat's 41 goals, 87.8%, that's what playing for the entertainers gets you. Rule Fox saved his best-scoring Premier League season for 1994-95, contributing 10 goals to a ludicrously fun cause. Christopher Samba, 16 of Congo's 18 goals, 88%. Blackburn announced that Christopher Samba had returned to Uoot Park as an academy coach in November. Rovers have won 5 of their 6 championship games since, drawing the other. Coincidence? Yes. But still. Nilberto Solano, 49 of Peru's 55 goals, 89.1%. Mark Noble and Ashley Young started for West Ham and Aston Villa respectively when Nilberto Solano scored what will presumably forever remain his last Premier League goal. Time is a flat circle. Pierre-Emerick Aubameyang, 68 of Gabon's 76 goals, 89.5%. Arsenal would probably take any of Daniel Cousin, Mario Lemina or Didier Ndong as captain and starting striker instead right now. Emerson Boyce, 11 of Barbados's 12 goals, 91.7%. One of those was a consolation scorpion kick from a James McCarthy miskick in defeat to Swansea. That sure is a sentence. Jason Roberts, 36 of Grenada's 39 goals, 92.3%. Shandon Baptiste became only the 3rd Grenada launcher to score a Premier League goal when he netted against Leeds in December. One more will catch Delroy Facey, but Jason Roberts has a healthy lead. Edin Dzeko, 50 of Bosnia's 54 goals, 92.6%. The bad news for Edin Dzeko is that the second highest scoring Bosnian in Premier League history, as well as one of those in joint 3rd place, are still playing in England's top flight. The good news is that those men are Sead Kolasinac and Asmir Begovic. Saido Berahino, 23 of Burundi's 24 goals, 95.8%. There is a perceptible air of the streets we'll never forget about Saido Berahino, who Tottenham are surely preparing another bid for at this very moment. Salomon Rondon, 36 of Venezuela's 37 goals, 97.3%. A reminder that Everton signed Salomon Rondon on a 2-year contract while retaining the option for a 3rd. His Premier League goal haul has been increased by 1 after 12 very tired appearances. Arians Pahers, 42 of Latvia's 43 goals, 97.7% sake, Kaspars Gorks. Emmanuel Adebayor, 97 of Togo's 98 goals, 98.9% sake, Floyd Ait. Ragnar Klavan, all of Estonia's 1 goal. Only other Estonians to feature in the Premier League are goalkeepers. Then again, Mart Poom does have form. Modou Barrow, all of Gambia's 1 goal. While not exactly known for reinventing the wheel, Barrow showed Gambia how to do it in March 2016. Swansea gave him a 3-year contract shortly after that goal in defeat to Bournemouth, adding a slightly unnecessary £15 million release clause. Bobby Bori, all of St Kitts and Nevis's 1 goal. Croydon-born Bobby Bori scored for Crystal Palace against Aston Villa in February 1993, a good 7 years before receiving his 2 international caps. Mwana Samatta, all of Tanzania's one-goalistan Villa had no fit strikers in January 2020. They signed Mwana Samatta. He scored on his Premier League debut and only once again for the Midlands club thereafter in the Carabao Cup final against Manchester City. He was sold permanently last summer. What's Samatta? Pedro Obiang, all of Equatorial Guinea's 3 goals. You would hope by the third goal that David Gold had realised he wasn't Angelo Ogbonna. West Ham chairman David Gold welcomes Pedro Obiang to the club with a picture of Angelo Ogbonna. HT@ADP1113, pic.twitter.com MB62XIG, BR Football, @BrFootball, June 10, 2015 Aboubacar Kamara, all of Mauritania's 3 goals. Not a bad record at all, considering those efforts came against Leicester, Manchester United and Arsenal. Then you recall that it was Aboubacar Kamara who argued with Alexander Mitrovic over the taking of a penalty before subsequently missing it, locking horns with the Serb during a yoga session, becoming the only person to ever elicit an angry reaction from Claudio Ranieri, and being arrested on club premises on suspicion of actual bodily harm. Armando Broja, all of Albania's 5 goals is proper. Even more so than Lorik Kana. Alexander Leb, all of Belarus's 8 goals. The last club to concede a Premier League goal to Alexander Leb? Blackpool. Illuminating. The only club that fielded the one other Belarusian to play in the Premier League? Blackpool. Illuminating. Lights turned on in an unoccupied room at home? Blackpool Illuminations. Bertrand Traore, all of Burkina Faso's 9 goals. That goal against West Brom in December 2020 remains one of the single greatest feats in human history. Danny Higginbotham, all of Gibraltar's 9 goals again. They were all scored long before he officially became a Gibraltar rock at the back, but the 9 goals Danny Higginbotham netted for 4 different teams sets him apart. He never lost a Premier League game in which he scored. Victor Wanyama, all of Kenya's 10 goals. The guy loves spaghetti and lashing them in from 20 or so yards. He has not only all of Kenya's 10 goals, but each of their 154 Premier League appearances. Sean Goater, all of Bermuda's 13 goals. Manchester United conceded 3 of those. But 1 defeat in 10 is absolutely their lowest point since 1990. Henrik Mkhitaryan, all of Armenia's 13 goals. 5 and 39 for Manchester United. 8 and 39 for Arsenal. A spell at Roma has unlocked him in much the same way Borussia Dortmund did, even if he must be on the brink of developing a complex after being told for the 427th time how mentally frail he and his teammates are. Carl Court, all of Guyana's 28 goals. Probably apocryphal tale goes that Sir Bobby Robson was so enamored with Jason Ewell that he asked Newcastle to sign that young English striker from Wimbledon and ended up accidentally approving the £7.5 million purchase of Carl Court instead. Some might describe Court as half the player of Ewell, which gives the former's 28 Premier League goals to the latter's 56 a lovely symmetry. Younger brother Leon, former Fulham defender Matthew Briggs and Blackburn and Birmingham midfielder Neil Dans had a crack at Court's imperious Guyana record, but none could lay a scratch.